How's it going, YouTube? This is Blaze Belcher with another double deck profile for you guys. Last week I did a two double decks profile, a mono darkness and mono red. I did play my mono darkness. That's the one that won last week. It went 2 and 2. My mono darkness was a chimera build, but it did not have that 6-4-11 drop evo because I did not have any at that time. So but this week I have two new decks. One is another mono deck, which is mono blue cyberlord build, and the second one is nature yellow, nature light, kind of like a top down Orion build. Okay, so I'm gonna do a quick video for these two decks. Let me know what you guys think, and any comments you'd like to post on it would be just fine. Let me know if you think I should take something out or add something in. The blue deck is 40 cards, and then the blocker nature deck is I believe 45, 44. And we can keep count when we do that deck profile. But I'm going to start with the blue one first, mono blue cyberlord build. And here we go. Starting off the blockers, we got 3 Reef Gladiator. Very good card. Since you are playing pure blue, you get to have a 3-4-6,000 blocker, and whenever it does block, you get to draw a card. So that's very good, very useful for this deck. And then 3 cyber sprites, 1 drop blocker for your key bait for your evos that I have inside the decks. And we have 3 rusalka aqua chaser. Very key card as well. 4 for 1. Bounce a creature on your opponent's side or your side and put it into the owner's hands. So very good card right there. And then of course 3 aqua seneschal. 3 aqua seneschal. The Walmart promos, 3 for 2, foily, attack, draw a card. Basically what I call the son of Emperor Neuron inside the deck. So yeah. And I have 3 cyber traders. Basically you can help mill your deck, get to that card faster that you might need inside the deck, like maybe a neuron or an axon or any removal depending on your situation. And 3 finbarr. I had them at 2, but I took some stuff out, so it made it a 3. So I kind of like it at 2, but I'm still testing it out. So right now I have that 3 power up on my cyberlord. Since this is a cyberlord build, it's very useful. Helps out with the canceling out and be able to wipe out your opponent's side of the field. And then the evos, you have 2 neurons and 2 axons. Right now I just have 2 neurons, mainly because I only have 2 with me. A buddy of mine is using the other one, so as soon as I get that back, it is going in. And the original count will be 3 and 2. So right now it's 2 and 2. Very good to have unblockable, and then just a little bit stronger. And then if you have that finbarr out, it becomes a 7,000 unblockable, and then the 8,000 beat stick. So very useful, both very good. And 2 milporo, just the new creel. Put the creature on your opponent's side on top of their deck. So very good. And I play, 1 waterspout gargoyle, mainly because it's for late game, and usually I'm able to kind of like an aggro with this deck, so I'm able to go through pretty quickly, especially with having 3 neurons being unblockable. So I just attack as much as possible, and something's in my way, bounce it back to my opponent's side of the field. So 1 aqua spout gargoyle is good. Might be thinking of trying to make it a 42 card deck, and if I do, I would put a second one in. But since right now it is a 40 card, I'm just going to have 1 waterspout gargoyle in the deck. And originally played 2 hovercraft urrgle, but again, a buddy of mine has my other one. Actually had some other 2, so the third copy is here, and I just have a teleport in there as the replacement until I get that one back, and then I could have 2 in my deck again. So yeah, 2 hovercrafts technically, and then I just have 1 King Neptas and 1 Reef Prince. King Neptas is just that situation card. You just play it if you have your opponents on the ropes, and then it cannot be affected by spells or abilities, so basically they can only block it or attack it. So their blockers are lower than the attack power of King Neptas. It just runs straight through, and then they don't have a creature big enough to attack it or suicide with it, then it would just stay on the field and you can just keep on attacking with it. And then Reef Prince, I got my Reef Prince signed by Josh Bauer, and I just have 1 in it because I already have massive draw. As you will see it, you saw Seneschal, you saw Neuron, and then you will see some more spells that will help me draw as well. So I don't need that much draw power, and just give me the little extra boost of draw, and also it's a side alert, so he gets that little boost of power up as well. Now onto the spells, which I have 1 crystal memory and then 1 teleport. This is the actual teleport that is inside the deck, and then the crystal memory, of course, helps me search for anything that I need to get for the deck. If I need another Evo or a bait, or just something to help me remove a creature off the field. So 1 of each. And then of course 3 logos. Very key card, 3rd turn draw. If you don't have Seneschal, you can play that, so very useful. And then with my Shield Blast, I have 2 aquatic expulsion, my bad, and basically just extra removal. Since originally you only had 6, now I have 2 more to give me 8, so it gives me a little bit better chance of having Shield Blast. Just extra removal for the field on your opponent's side, or maybe something you might need to return back to your hand and you can replay it late game. And everyone knows 3 veiled vortexes remove anything on the field, so that's very good. And then 3 ice blades remove any creature 4 costs or less off the field, so very good as well. So that's the blue, 40 cards. Now going on to Nature Light. You want to start off with the nature portion of the deck, which I do believe is 45. So start with nature. I do have some ramp, 2 sprouts, and then 3 reap and sow. 2 sprouts is that early 2-drop. Not many 2-drops in the deck, so it's very useful if I can get the sprout as early as possible, so I can get my ramp started. And of course, reap and sow, some draw, and some ramp. Very useful for those 2. Shield Blast, I have 2 Return of the Soil, 2 Tendril Grasp, early removal for those new Evos, and also for Evos and some rush decks, so both of these are very useful. I do have a lot of low cost creatures and mainly blockers, so it does do pretty well against rush or any kind of small attack power aggro. And then my bigger Shield Blast is of course 2 root traps. 2 root traps. I did have about 3, but I did change some cards around, and I just have 2 of each. Mainly because I have Storm Spark Blast and some other yellow Shield Blast, and with a lot of blockers in this deck, that it's really hard for them to get through and pop my shield. So those are my Shield Blasts. And then to finish off green, 2 Gigahorn Charger helps me search for any creatures in my deck. So when it's time to come search for a particular particular creature that I need for my yellow, then I can just play that and get that card and then play it next turn. So that's the green portion of the deck, and we're going to move on to the yellow, starting again with its spells. which I have 2 Storm Spark Blasts and 3 Sunshock. I was thinking making it the other way around, but I prefer having more Sunshocks than Storm Spark because since I do have some low cost creatures that can get pretty big with some power-ups you will see pretty soon, I'm able to tap it out, play a creature, and tap one of my opponent's creatures and then attack it. So that's what I have for the spells. Now go into the big finishers and yellow part creatures of the deck. 2 Orion Radiant Fury, very good card. I still have not been able to got a chance to use his second ability, which is look at the top 3 cards in my deck, and then if any of them are yellow creatures, non-evolutions, I get to play them for free. Usually I always play another like yellow or green deck, so it always either goes into mana or maybe even get discarded from darkness. So 2 of those, and then these Evo as well. The new one from the starter deck, Ravu the Stormbringer, makes all my creature blockers. So I have plenty few blockers in this deck already, but I do have some more beefy creatures in here that are not blockers. So once I play him, all of them will become blocker, and it does suck against Comet Missile, but other than that, very useful card. And then we have 2 Twilight Commanders. These are the bait for my Skyforce Champion Evo. This is basically 5 for 5. Kind of like a smaller version of Kadea's ability, but it goes by power instead of by cost. So I do have creatures that are about lower than this one, so I can break a shield or attack a creature, and then have him attack and then reuse that other creature again. Alright, and then 2 Starlight Strategist. All of us know what he does. 6 for 6, come in, tap. So since I do have more Skyforce champions, his effect can come in more than once. So as long as I have him on the field, and then play the other, or I think if I have the other one and play him, I can tap 2. So yeah, there's that. 1 Ravu, there's another blocker, and then 2 Earth the Overlord comes into play. Tap all my opponents' non-blockers, so very good. Most of the bigger stuff you see, those are the ones I try to use and get the ability from Orion if he gets destroyed from the field. So, and then we have 3 Paladeo. This is kind of more like a Storm Patrol build. Most of the creatures are Storm Patrols, so all my Storm Patrols will get plus 2,000 power. That's how most of my blockers will get beefies, because of this guy right here. Next, 3 Keeper of Clouds. All of us know what he does. 4 for 5,000. Nice chunk blocker, anti-Gila Flame, and some anti-rush as well. So it's very good with that. 3 Keeper of Dawns. Sometimes if I can't get that Reap and Sow or that second Sprout, and I already played Sprout and I have him, I will go back and get that Sprout and replay it again that turn or next turn. So it does help me mana excel a little bit faster. And of course the Storm Patrol, so he gets that power up as well. And then 2 Shock Canals. Attack, tap the opponent's creatures, so another way for me to tap down my opponent's creatures and attack it. So very good. And then the 1 drop, 3 Thunder Cruisers. Again, another Storm Patrol for anti-rush and maybe some aggro. Very good, decent chunk blockers right there. And the last blockers of the deck is 2 Sunstalk Seeds. This is basically 2 for 3,000. I don't have that many 2 drops, so that's why I just throw those 2 in there just to make up for the 2 drops. But yeah, so that's my deck right there. Nature Light, blocker tap down. 45 cards. It is actually 45 cards. I was counting. I believe 13 yellow and the rest is 13 green and the rest is yellow. So those are the 2 decks. Please comment, like, and subscribe. Let me know what you think about the decks. Be much appreciative. Let me know if you tried another build, see if that will work better for you. And let me know about that so I can try it out myself. But these other two decks, we got Nature Light, blocker tap down, and then Mono Blue, Cyberlord, aggro. Please vote for the decks you like. You can vote on here or on Twitter. Follow me on Twitter at BlazeBelcher. And just let me know. Hopefully you guys have a good evening. I'll see you guys next time. And y'all have a good night. Bye guys.